Good morning, everyone. It's October 4th. Got another video of the morning market rundown. Let's dive into some key levels and some potential scenarios that could play out. So starting with the bigger picture we discussed in yesterday's video, was just looking to see if we could get this meandering down to this 561, 562 area, this 20-day moving average, and this VWAP from September 6th pivot. So we're looking to see if we can meander down into this area. We also see there's a VP cluster at this 461 area. So this is the key level of interest that I've been monitoring. Okay, so let's dive into some key levels in the intermediate time frame and some scenarios. So we mapped out this yesterday. This was the daily VWAP. This was yesterday's trading session. Let's dive into a 10-minute time frame to get some more data. So this was yesterday's trading session. Gap down, rally into the week-to-date VWAP, which you could see here. Tuesday was the 2-day VWAP, acted as resistance. Week-to-day VWAP on Wednesday acted as resistance, and Thursday acted as resistance. So this is the key level in the sand here, and we're trading at it in the pre-market. So we mapped out this scenario that we'd rally back up, could on Wednesday, Thursday start to talked about the declining 5-day moving average, and this was the anticipated upside move, and this was the anticipated downside move on the 5-day. So we're rallying right into this. Okay, can we get a gap above it and clear all these players and gap right up to these guys? Maybe get a little shakeout and then get this potential scenario to start playing out on the blue. And let's be discussed that then the 5-day moving average and this VWAP from the high could start to act as support. So instead of seeing it act as resistance, we get the flip side and we have evidence that the buyers are in control. The next potential scenario I'll be monitoring is similar scenario that's mapped up here. We got the rally here, so maybe we meander down back to 566, meander down to 566, catch a bounce, and then start to fade and start to see this scenario start to play out. So we get something like this. So the potential scenarios I'll be watching for is if we could get a shakeout, pull back to this month-to-date VWAP, 3-day VWAP area, get back above 569, then look to see if we could get some strength, or if we get a fade, continue to get stuck under this 568, 569, and then get a further decline down to this 561 area that we talked about on the daily time frame. That's that 2-day. That's the VWAP from the pivot of September 6th and that 21-day moving average. So that's the potential scenario for the SPY I'm going to be monitoring. Let's dive into this cues. The cues, we got a little bit of, we got same situation we kind of been talking about, was that meandering, and we actually got a little bit of strength, and we're almost trading above the past 2 days high. So same thing here. If we meander back down to this 475, 20-day moving average, key level of interest, 472. Okay, let's dive into this, get a little bit more data on the 10-minute time frame. And here was yesterday's VWAP. Similar story to the SPY. That green is the week-to-date VWAP, and that blue is the gap VWAP from the 19th of September. So acting as support, resisting, flipping to resistance right up in here. So we're going to monitor for price action to see if we could get evidence that the buyers are regaining above this 484 area. So if we can start to meander and drift up, we'll get this scenario. If we can meander and drift up, the 5-day moving average will start to curl out as we rally up, and then we'd be looking for this pullback in this area, and then we could set up potential lower risk scenario instead of just buy here, buy here, right? We have lower lows. Let's go into 30-minute chart, right? You got lower lows and lower highs. Oh, so you got lower lows, and lower highs. So now getting the change in character is potentially, as we aren't seeing lower lows and lower highs anymore, maybe potentially this could be the lower, higher highs and higher lows, and then we get change in character, and we got the wind against our back. So that's the potential scenarios I'm looking for. Let's continue to watch this 484, see if we could get a rally up into 487. Look to see if this 484 could hold the support, reclaim it, and break above. If we just break back down underneath this 480, look for a scenario like this. So basically, if we break down the 480, maybe we catch a bounce back into 483, 484. If we break beneath this 480, maybe we could get a little bounce back into it, and then that's where we could potentially see further downside back into this 469 area, because this would be the 20-day moving average, the break of that 480 that we basically talked about, right? 476. So we break 480, come down to 476, catch that bounce. Maybe that's it, or we get that further decline back to 467. So very similar scenario, and the video sounds like a broken record. Hopefully this was helpful.